We are going to make turkey, stuffing, yams, and gravy. Here are the ingredients you need to make for the turkey. Parsley, thyme, and sage. Butter, and onions.
Okay, so here we go. We're gonna start with making the turkey, and so we can get that in the oven, and then we'll start making the stuffing. So with your turkey, you have to, it's not just after you take it out of the bag, it's not ready to go. You make sure that to start with, you reach in, you lift up this little flap, and you pull out its neck. Make sure there's nothing else in there. Just a couple ice cubes still left. So we're gonna take those out. Then you come around here, spin it around for you. And there's always a bag and this like the gizzards and liver and and you pull that out. I'll cut a lot of that off now, just because. Then let's just set those aside. I'm gonna use those to make gravy. Then what I'm gonna do really quick here is I'm just gonna chop up some onions. Just cut the ends off. You don't have to do anything special with these at all. Just take the skins off. We're just gonna quarter them, and I'm gonna break them up a little bit. And then stuff it in the turkey. There's a million ways to cook turkey. There's a million ways you can prepare it. You can brine it. You can, before, maybe like 2 days, 24 hours before you cook it, you can put it in a brine. You can stuff it with fruits like oranges, tangerines, what have you. Today we're just kind of making a traditional turkey, and I'm just gonna stuff it with onions because that's what I had on hand. So you don't have to stuff it with anything. I mean, you can stuff it with stuffing if you want. That works too. Whew. Whew.
Where's the onion goggles when you need them?
Those are some strong onions. So got that. Stuff it all in there. Break it up a little bit.
And Phil,
Yeah?
why do you add so much?
Because I want to fill the turkey filled with onions and get it kind of filled up so that it kind of gives that nice oniony flavor to the meat. Like just chop up some garlic really quick. As usual, just take the ends off, give it a little smash.
And these herbs are complimentary of our garden, so fresh.
Yep,
Fresh is
fresh
always
from the
better.
garden.
They give a
They
way
do-
better.
They do smell good, don't they, Jill?
Yeah.
And Chloe.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get that garlic. Hopefully, I can still see it. Same thing. We're not gonna really worry too much about how we cut it up. It's just gonna go into the turkey. But we're just gonna get the skins off first. Give it a quick chop. Woo-wee. Same with my herbs here. Just gonna give them a quick chop.
And as you chop them, you'll notice like the different smells of the herbs as you chop them, they get stronger. Now, is there a specific reason why you picked those 3 herbs?
I don't know. They're kind of like traditional turkey kind of herbs. You know, they're the same thing you would cook at Thanksgiving or anything like that. And so I'm just gonna put that in with my butter. I'm gonna really quickly just take a fork. I'm just gonna smush it together here. I'm gonna put a little garlic salt in there too. Mix it in really good. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my turkey. I'm going to basically lift the skin off of its back. So I'm gonna just reach my hand under there. I'm gonna go this way. And I'm gonna go down this way. And now one thing about meat and all meats, people will tell you on Thanksgiving, oh, it's this weight, cook it for this many hours. It's same with like roast, so I'm gonna cook it for X amount of hours, and everybody wants to know a time on meats. And if you cook your meats according to a time, it's gonna be totally hit or miss as to whether you or not your meat turns out good, dry or not. Really the only way. So I just like slid that in there under the skin, and I'm just gonna kind of press it down up towards the top, and it'll melt down in there. So I just want to get some towards the back there, and just gonna squish it around, lay it all back down, and that's gonna give my meat like a nice flavor. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna I already preheat my oven to 350. I'm gonna get any racks out of here. So, got my butter on, I got my oven preheating. So what I'm gonna do now is, like I was saying, you can't really judge based on hours. Like your turkey usually comes with this little pin in here. The pin will pop up when your turkey's the right temperature. For poultry, they say the right temperature for poultry is 160 degrees, 165 degrees. So that's what you wanted to get it to. Me, I don't trust these, so I'm gonna use my handy dandy meat thermometer, and everybody should have one. They're like $5 at the store. And these are like the greatest thing in cooking. I mean, all your meats, you should check with a meat thermometer. You can't really do a steak, really thin steak, but anything that's a substantial size, you should use a meat thermometer. It's the way to go. You can tell exactly when your meat is done, and it's a no-lose proposition. So what I'm gonna do here is I got my turkey ready. I'm gonna stop. Okay, so we got our turkey prepared. So we got our little giblets and livers and crap like that, the gross stuff. But we're gonna put that in a little bit of water. Gonna put our neck in here, a piece of skin in there. We're gonna take some chicken broth because I don't have time to make my own stock, so we're just gonna throw that in here, and that's gonna be my attempt at homemade stock-ish.
But we usually freeze it. The other times we have frozen the stock.
I mean, I will make a stock with this rest of this turkey, but it's not going to work right at first because it's not. So I'm going to take that stuff. I'm just going to put that on the stove, and I'm just going to put that on low, and I'm just going to simmer it. Okay, so we have our stuff on the stove, and it's boiling. Our oven is preheating, so I'm just going to cover the turkey at first. I'm going to take a little tin foil, cover it up, roll that down there, cover it up. And the reason I'm doing this is so that it's not too dark. Like towards the end of cooking it, I will actually take this off so it does brown a little bit, but I don't want it to be gross and too dark at first. So it's ready to go. I'm just going to pop it in the oven. So we got our turkey in the oven. I mean, that took us about maybe 10 minutes total to chop those vegetables, prep the turkey, and get it all going. Start the whatever, the chicken broth and such over there on the stove. And so now all we're gonna do is we're gonna leave the turkey in. Probably I would assume that it's gonna take at least 2 hours, probably 2.5 hours. But I'm gonna check closer to 2 hours, a temperature on it and see where it's at. See how much longer I think it'll take. Right now we're gonna make the stuffing, and I'll have Chloe introduce the ingredients for that.
Okay, everyone, now we're going to make the mushroom stuffing. So you need stuffing mix with the seasoning packet and herbs. We like to use 2 of them. 1 onion, knives, mushrooms, celery, hot Italian sausage, big mushrooms, portobellos,
And some garlic. Awesome. Thank you, Chloe.
And a spoon. So here we go. We're gonna make the stuffing really quick. So start with my onion. In this case, I do want it to be a certain way. So as usual, I'm just gonna cut the ends off and take the dry peely skin off. And here we go. So I do want the onions to have some substance to them, so I don't want them too small, but I also don't want them too big. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the onion longwise, just like that. Make it into about even slices. Unlike like a sandwich or something, this doesn't totally matter. So just going to stack it like that. I've cut it all the way down. This is the easiest way I find to do it, so I'm going to have it, I'm just going to stack it, and then I'm just going to cut it the other way, same kind of thing in slices, and that's just going to make it the whole onion into little pieces. It's pretty time saving, and I don't have to deal with the onion that much, because I want to cut this onion up as fast as I possibly can. I'm going to get any big pieces that I missed. Like on the ones on the end, there's just no way to do it because the onion's round. So we get these end pieces, and that's that. And that's what I got. So pretty even, about that size onion. Now I'm gonna cut up my garlic. Same thing. Just gonna cut the ends off. Cut that nasty piece off of there. Smash that one. Put them together. I'm just gonna chop them. And I'm just gonna the garlic I went into really tiny pieces, so I'm just gonna go really thin. Same thing, if you watch how I put my fingers, I always keep my front fingers down and make sure I'm not going to cut my fingers, my thumb back, and I'm kind of grabbing it with my fingernails a little bit. I'm just going to spin the garlic around, cut it into little pieces. One more time, go run through it. That's about what I got. Pretty fine. That'll work. Next, I'm going to just really quickly do my mushrooms.
Now, do you keep the stem on the mushrooms on these ones?
On these ones, I do. I'm just going to cut them into pretty small pieces. I don't want them to be so small that they're not there, but I don't want big giant chunks of mushrooms. Tried it both ways, and I find that this is the way to go. So cut up a couple of these guys. Same thing, just gonna cut them long ways. Go through them once. A lot of mushrooms, because they just break apart, so it doesn't matter. Cut a couple of these guys. I'm gonna take that guy's stem out. So these, I'm gonna cut all their ends off.
How do you know what the ends are on those? I couldn't tell.
Well, because you can see where it came out of the dirt. What I want is the top part.
Okay, let's see the end part and let's see the good part.
So this is where it came out of the dirt, where all the mushroom grew together. This is, on these mushrooms, it seems to be kind of husky to me. Like, even when I cook it, it doesn't really seem to get tender. So I just don't like that. So I'm gonna take it out. Same thing, I'm gonna cut these guys up pretty small. Those are strong smelling, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I've got my portobello. I'm gonna take the stem out of my portobello, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a spoon and I'm gonna scrape the gills out. Some people are fine with them. I don't really like them, so especially in like a light sauce, they'll give it too much color, and so I will take it out, and I don't like it anyway, like I said. So I'm gonna just scrape it all into the middle, and this is the best way to do it without wasting a lot of mushroom. I'm gonna just put that aside to my compost pile, and same thing, I'm just gonna take it, mushrooms are mostly water, so we'll when we cut them down, when we saute this, they'll reduce almost down to nothing. So you gotta kind of plan for that. What you think is a lot of mushrooms is not necessarily a lot of mushrooms. So we'll do this one more portobello. Same thing, just gonna scrape it.
There,
Now we're gonna cook our sausage. So we're gonna open this up.
the stuffing is the best stuffing. It's a meal in itself.
Yeah. Okay. Almost got it.
It's Jill's favorite part of it for sure.
Oh yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
There is no other mix of flavors that's better. Mm.
I was kind of unsure the first time I made it about the mushroom stuffing. I wasn't sure if it was going to be good, but
And I'm not like a mushroom person.
I'm not really a mushroom person either, but
Yeah.
it's really actually quite scrumptious. So anyway, Chloe's gonna throw the meat in that pan,
And we're gonna
put it on that stove, and put it on medium.
We're
and
gonna
we're
take this
get it,
paper.
get it cooking. Yeah, take that paper off there. Just gonna get that cooking, and then
Here.
the next thing she's gonna do is get our vegetables sauteing.
And after you handle meats, you should always wash your hands with soap and hot water.
Yeah.
Just a little tip. So we're gonna take it over to our stove, right over here. And for right now, we're on our stove. We're gonna put it on probably 6.5, probably. That's what I'm guessing. And then we're gonna go grab a spatula. Let's do the celery now. Oh, we got the loose one. Okay, we're gonna hold it with our fingers like this. We're gonna put it all the way down.
I like the texture and the little crispness gives
Yeah.
the stuffing.
And we're gonna try to do it with thin slices. You keep telling me that. Right now I'm just putting this into small bits. Just,
And you
Chop
cook the
this up.
sausage just like hamburger.
yep. So I'm just gonna chop this up like so. And you kind of want to twist it and turn it. We're also gonna stick to the pan like this.
You want to cook it until it's brown.
Yeah. Like this piece right here, but it has to all be brown.
And no pink filling. Very good.
So we had Chloe cook our meat. It's cooked. There we go. Kind of chopped up, cooked. I'm just gonna set that aside for the moment. Same pan. Going to put a little butter in there. Spin that around a little bit. Get her around the pan. I'm just gonna take. So I have my onions, my garlic, my mushrooms, my celery. I'm just gonna saute this for a bit.
It smells good and it's pretty.
Yeah, it smells really good. There we go. Get that going. Sometimes there's an order with which I saute things. It depends on what it is that I'm cooking. In this instance, it doesn't really make any difference. I'm just going to do it all at once to save time. Because all I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cook this down a little bit, and then it's going to go into my stuffing, my croutons anyway, and then it's going to get cooked all over again in the oven for maybe like 45 minutes to an hour. I have my chicken broth cooking now with my neck and such, and that's what I'm going to use to soften up all my croutons and such. So I'm going to kind of lower the temperature here, maybe 4.5, and I'm just going to let this cook for a while until my onions. Put my so I have been sautéing my mushrooms and such. It's taken me maybe about 12 minutes. If you've noticed, like, there's about maybe half, if that, of what I started with. Like I said, most of it's water. And if you notice, most of the mushrooms have basically gone down to nothing. So what I'm gonna do here, still have a little bit of liquid in my pan. Everything's soft. Onions are translucent, being clear, so like this instead of that white. I'm gonna use this seasoning mix out of the package. Take it. I'm just gonna pour it in to my stuff. And this is just kind of gonna get my flavor going. It's got a lot of sage, thyme, and such. Same thing I use in the turkey, but I'm just going to use this stuff out of the package. So I'm just going to stir this around a little.
That smells really good.
Yeah, it smells great, huh? Like the holidays. So, and then, this is how easy turkey dinner is. So like, what I'm doing right now is making the holiday dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, whatever you want to call it, but with the turkey. And it's this easy. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do a good job of it. So, got that all kind of stirred in. I'm just going to take my meat. I'm just going to pour that back in. Stir that around. Get it mixed together. And this is pretty basically the substance to my stuffing. So, just get that stirred in. And it's pretty decent. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to take this, I'm going to dump this into my breadcrumbs. I start with one bag, and I have another bag on hand, just in case. But we'll see how much this was. That seemed like a lot. So we're gonna mix it into my breadcrumbs here. Get in the light a little better. Oh, that smells good, doesn't it?
And this is good before it even cooks. Like the whole time I will be eating in the background. I mean, this is good from right when it starts to the end. It's good for days. It's just always good.
But it's definitely better when it's cooked.
Oh, way better when it's cooked. But you can start eating it
Jill,
now.
But Jill likes it. So that's what we have for now. I mean, it's not, what we're wanting here is something that's like, I want all my breadcrumbs to be soft, almost mushy, but not so mushy that it almost will turn into like a sauce. You know, we don't want it to totally smash together. So now we have that. So I'm gonna come back over. I'm gonna take my my broth that I've been making with the chicken neck and the liver and such, and I'm going to just pour some of that.
The best flavor. This is the real deal. This is real,
Around.
authentic, good
And
flavor.
I'm estimating, you know, like I do a lot of estimating, so if you wonder why I'm not telling you how much of stuff I put in. But I used about 4 cups of mushrooms, I used an onion, I used about 5 sticks of celery, chopped small, I used a box of chicken broth, and then I just put all the little tidbits in it. And then I used a package of stuffing mix with the seasoning. So if you see, like, it's a little steamy, but it's starting to get a little bit soft. And I'm just gonna kind of stir it
You can
around.
see the croutons blow up, so you can see the size in here. Then you can see the size of them start to really expand in there.
Yeah, and I see it. Now, I don't want it to be like that. That's way too dry. Like, I want this croutons to actually start to break down. So after I stir this around for a bit and get all the croutons up off the bottom, I'm going to put a little more in, and I'm just going to add this a little bit at a time, stir it around, add it, stir it around, until I get the consistency that I want. And I would say that I'm probably going to add, 2 to 2.5 cups of liquid. Then I'm going to taste it after I'm done, and I'm going to decide if it needs salt. And my honest opinion, like after I make gravy for it and such like that, usually it doesn't need salt. I don't put pepper in it. It's pretty good how it is. With the hot Italian sausage that I use, it adds that little bit of kick and spice to it. So here we go. So croutons starting to kind of get to mushy. I'm just gonna taste it. They're still a little hard, so I'm gonna stir it around. I'm gonna add about another third, half of a cup of liquid. Stir that around again.
What would you say that's the consistency of?
Almost like maybe almost like a cookie dough, I suppose.
Oh yeah, cookie dough, little tiny bits.
Like maybe like a soft ice cream.
With like chocolate chip cookie dough, there's those
And so,
little
okay,
things
so
in
you see if you notice like the croutons are broken down. That's pretty good. So now we're gonna put it in a dish.